Hello, everyone. We are here for our stream, so I'll just wait a few minutes and we'll get into it. Just gotta wait a few minutes, as we always do. I don't know if anyone's gonna join, but that's okay. Still, idea to get this out there, so we'll see. And figured, it's a fun day. It's my birthday. I might as well stream. This could be fun. I'm just gonna give some time, as always. I'm no longer on my bed. My desk is cleanish now, so I'm using my microphone and my headphones again. So hopefully, it doesn't sound as bad as the last stream probably did. Yeah. Yep. So let's give a few minutes down. Like I don't know, no one joins by like 11:15. Always started. I mean, like 11:12. That probably makes more sense. I didn't realize I'm. Oh shit. Well, I didn't realize I was muted in the Discord. That could be relevant. Someone joins, so it's fine. Fix that. I'm assuming the one person that's saying is in chat is myself, so my phone. That's okay. And we'll get started. We'll just get going. So let me see. When did I post it? Yeah, it's been a couple minutes. We'll get started. Okay, so first match we have a winners bracket match. We have Nate Dogg seed 15 versus Mardo seed 10. If you watched the last stream, you would know that mostly low seeds advance to the top of the bracket, well, in the winners bracket. So definitely interesting. So we're gonna see a lot of the low seeds fighting for a spot in semis now in the winners bracket, of course. So again, the matchup here. Let's take a look. Inverness looking pretty strong. Swampert obviously a good check, but he does not enjoy Grass Knot. Inverness is a great matchup here. Like you can just run Scarf and just weaken like the Swampert and the Dragonite, and it kind of goes crazy with Flare Blitz. Yeah, that's definitely doable. Gyara's looking quite strong. Obviously, Celebi's a bit annoying, but like it can break for Celebi with proper chip, which shouldn't be that hard to get. On our side, Dragonite is okay here, but there are a lot of really good checks. So I feel like if Dragonite comes, it might. It probably needs to be mixed. I don't know. Bronzong's really tough matchup for Dragonite in general. The poor war resists on Nate's side, though, do make me think offensive Empoleon is pretty likely here. Serve HP Electric hits everything really, really hard. So I can even see a more offensive Swampert, but I think that's very risky with the Infernape on the other side. Gengar's a little scary, but like you have Pursuit Scizor, which can somewhat handle it. You have Empoleon, which can somewhat handle it. So probably beatable. But I do think Nate Dogg's Infernape be just freaking crazy here. So I probably do have to give that to give the matchup to Nate here. So let's get right into the game. We have Nate on the left, Marto on the right. So you have Venomoth leading into Donphan. Venomoth's just going Toxic Spikes. Okay. Earthquake is going to get the Venomoth down 99. It was actually Sash, so it just naturally did 99. Very funny. It was probably Sash anyway, but it didn't seem to proc a Sash. So it's getting a Ice Shard. Swampet's going to protect to scout, I guess, prevent the Raspin, but there's no. Did Marto have a Ghost type? No, so there's no way for him to block it anyway. It's a faster Donphan, so it's going to outspeed and get off the Raspin as Surf comes off. So and now C-Bomb. So yeah, we knew it was a very offensive Donphan from the Earthquake doing 99 to Venomoth. Obviously, Venomoth's not that bulky, but like it's a Donphan. Donphan has a high natural attack, but if you don't invest it, doesn't do it much. So yeah. And then we see the fast Seed Bomb catching off that Swampert. That's amazing for Nate. That makes Infernape very, very scary in this end game. Scissor U-turn's gonna KO. In goes Venomoth, and in comes the big monkey itself. First, gonna U-turn out on the Venomoth, KOing it. So Nate's in a pretty decent position now. Dragon's gonna come in. Haunter's gonna Braver and get a crit. Oh my god! I mean, I know it's super luck, but wow, that's a huge crit, taking out the Dragonite in one shot. That's really big. Garrett's gonna come in, and Poignant's gonna agility, as I expected. It's gonna probably be offensive here. HP Electric gonna come out to 45. Garrett's gonna Earthquake, and Poignant is not oh, it's not Pataya or Shaka, interesting. So HP Electric KO. But Scarf Infernape does outspeed +2 Empoleon, so very just walk into Flare Blitz here. And yeah, this still in the range, but this thing might just queen here. But it probably does unless Scissors packing Quick Attack specifically. It does not appear to be packing Quick Attack, and yeah, Infernape. I mean, as we saw, like if Swampert goes down, Infernape wins. If Dragonite goes down, Infernape wins. And the Swampert was expertly removed by Nate with the Seed Bomb, and then the Dragonite obviously got crit. But like the Dragonite, and obviously the Dragonite there really sucked because that means he would have like E-Speed in the back for this Infernape. So yeah, definitely a bit unfortunate with the crit. But I mean, his Super Walks average just like a 25%, so it's not that unlikely. And that's part of the allure of Honchkrow in general, so fair enough. But yeah, Infernape just showing why it's a really top minus format. You eliminate the resist to fire or fighting and just go crazy, and it certainly did here. See a very, very dominant win by Nate. Very good Dom fan lead to apply a lot of pressure early. See a good win. That's a move Nate into top 4 winners and Marto down to the losers bracket. Okay, let's get into our. That was a very quick one. Yeah, it was a super quick. That was that like 15? How many turns was that? Was like 15 turns. Let me look. Yeah, it was what like one second. What was it? Oh, what? Until that, whatever. Yeah, it was 15 turns. I was around my. Hey, let's move on to our next game. Game 2. So we have another Weird's back match. We have the Mad Sheen seed 14 versus Butterchoke seed 11. So again, two low seeds fighting it out to making the top 4 of winners. So let's see what we got here. Well, Heatran looks interesting at least. Obviously, there's a lot of things to outspeed and deal with it well, but it doesn't have great switch-ins. Tag Rule is the one, but like if you invest in attack and Earthquake, you can do a ton of damage to it. Suicune's interesting. Mashie has just a lot of good Suicune cosplay of stuff like the Rotom, the Roselia, and even Haze Tag Rule, and even like Shedinja can honestly deal with Suicune. They probably can't fit Shao Ball, I'd say, in this game. So yeah, this is definitely a game where I could actually see Shedinja coming. It walls Suicune. It walls Jolteon if it's not running Shao Ball, which it probably shouldn't be. It walls potentially Cress if it's not running Toxic. Like, there's actually a really good Shedinja game, which is something you don't see very often. So I definitely see it actually coming in this matchup. In terms of our Pokemon, Crest looking solid. Not a ton wants to break it down. It's just really fat here and really annoying. If anything, I expect Magi's gonna probably want to try and catch you with a boom with Magros. And to be fair, that's not impossible, but Rotom being a free switch, that's very frustrating. Yeah, Magros is a pretty solid match right here. Say here though, obviously it can't really spam its stab super easily, but like it can if it gets going. If with the right predictions, Magros looks very, very scary here. But then again, that's in every matchup. Like Magros is terrifying if it predicts right in any game. I can see maybe a Scarf Magros coming. Obviously, that's slower than Jolteon. Actually, no, it's probably not Scarf because Jolteon has to run max for the arrow. So maybe not then. Arrow looking pretty good. Suicune and Crest can check it, but they don't love switching into Banded Stone Edges, of course. Yeah, Rotom's looking pretty solid too. I think I have to give this matchup to Mad Sheen overall. I think he has some pretty strong tools here. Yeah, Mad Sheen left, Barchoke on the right. As we're reading the Heatran to the Flygon, Flygon's got Earthquake on turn 1 as Heatran protects the Scouted. Out to Cresselia, it's just going to be Crunch revealing that's not choiced, okay? And we're going to get off a U-turn. So Crest is now at 46. Probably some Moonlight here. No, let's go white screen, okay? So it's a white screen set. In comes Magros. In this, Magros is going to Zen Headbutt and Oko the Hariyama. Wow, that's huge. Yeah, Oko and Hariyama is really, really big. It gets up to Reflective to get up rocks, though. And Safeguard. Oh my god. Safeguard Crest. What a wild set. Let's go Moonlight as we screech, though. So now it's forced out into Jolteon. On the U-turn, does 21 Fruit to Reflect. That's not even bad damage. Out to Suicune. And we're going to have a Spike here. And get off a sub. As we could, Grass Knot. Very smart. Very good prep by Mad Sheen. That's Rosalia's strongest move to hand to Suicune, unless you're running like physical, like Seed Bomb or whatever. Grass Knot's doing 30 free. That's an offensive Rosalia. That's doing 30 free after a Calm Mind. That's a pretty offensive Rosalia, which you love to see. I love offensive Rosalia. I think it's really underrated. Yep, and that's a crit, so it does 19 to Heatran, which is not terrible damage, also, if you're 4 times resisted move. Anyway, in comes Flying. I just go Earthquake as Crest comes in. We're going to U-turn out again, get some more chip on this thing. It is interesting that screen Safeguard. I'm curious what Safeguard is for. Maybe it's like to prevent Suicune from getting toxic or something. I don't know. But we do see the Sword Dance from Tech will come off here. That's going to KO the Heat Trail with Waterfall. Very interesting. Uh, yeah, we're gonna see Jolteon quick Rain Dance as we have a Poison Jab to KO it. In comes Kabutops. Go quick Rock Slide, get a crit. That Life Orb probably didn't matter because it's a more offensive tech roll, but Metagross comes in anyway. Go Waterfall, get a 56. Metagross Candace Earthquake, and not KO after the Reflect Blade died to Life Orb on the following turn anyway. So just gonna take that trade. Metagross is not packing Bullet Punch. But Magi's obviously up 4-2, and yeah, Barjoke's gonna forfeit. There's nothing they can really do at this point. I mean, Rotom pretty much just wins. So yeah, good win by Maggi. I know Barjoke unfortunately had some IRL stuff happen that made life very difficult for this game. I hope that they are able to resolve that safely and everything, and in the next round be able to prep a bit more and hopefully give it their all. But still, very good with my Maggi. I really like the Screech uh Flygon. That's really smart into like double Calm Minder. Screech Flygon's very, very good. Grass Knot Roselia with a lot of special attack clearly into Suicune, very nice. I like the Terrago set, just very, very well prepped by Maggi. Maggi honestly is their prep has impressed me all tournament, and this is not any different. So yeah, very, very well done. Okay, let's get into our next one. At game 3, we have our first elimination match. We have King Clyde seed 13 in the losers bracket versus Friedel seed 5 in the losers bracket. So this is a winner goes home game. First one of these we've had. Let's get into it. Let's take a look here. Zapdos looking pretty solid outside, specifically the Cradily. Like, I think some sort of like sub-toxics that could be very, very strong here in general. That's probably his best set also, because he can sub on a few of these mons. Not like the easiest, but he can kind of sub on like stuff like Tentacruel on Bronzong. So that's pretty good. Oh, what else? There's Snorlax looking decent. Blaze can kind of break it, but if you can start getting up curses, it could be difficult. Albeit Taunt, Super Fang, Crobat deals with that pretty effectively. We see on Clyde's side, Flygon looking not bad here. I was using ground resist, but there's not great dragon responses. Obviously, Rocky Average is risky with Weavile, but it's so fast in this match. You can run like Yachi Berry Outrage and like take the Ice Shard and then KO the Weavile after Rocks with Outrage and go 2 for 1 pretty easily. There's a Steelix, but Steelix isn't like Steelix is decent here actually, but there's a lot of ways Clyde can pressure it. Weavile does look very, very strong in this matchup. Stabs are very good here as Blaziken, which does get Vacuum Wave in this generation for those who don't know, so that's definitely something to consider. Yeah, this is pretty even. I don't think I'm gonna be able to call this one. Maybe leaning slightly towards Clyde, but it's a pretty tough call on this one. Let's get into Clyde on the left, Rito on the right. We're gonna see Bronzong lead into Snorlax to get Rocks as it clicks Crunch, doing 27. That's not bad damage, so maybe a more offensive Snorlax or like a Spit F Bronzong. We'll see. Cradily and Shame gonna come out on the switches. Cradoly's gonna be forced back out. Shame's gonna Seed Flare doing 19 to Bronzong. Get the drop, so it is 9 range of another one though, so you may have to switch. But it's gonna quick HP Fire presumably into the Blaziken. Okay. Floribus can come off through 37 to Poliwrath. That is that banded? That's probably it might be banded, but it's a bulkier Poliwrath. I'm surprised that did so much. Earthquake as Rotom Heat comes in. See, Shaman is the switch in. Obviously, he's not fire move there, but double into Blaziken, very, very good double. And Floribus is Scarf, so it was Scarf. It just did 37 to Poliwrath. I guess Poliwrath is just kind of bad. But yeah, switch out as the Poliwrath makes Waterfall doing 37 to Rotom. That's not a ton. They both get some lefties here. Thunderbolt's going to kill the Poliwrath as Rotom, so up 6-4 for Clyde right now. Weavile's going to come in, can try and Pursuit Trap this, I assume. Is going to successfully Pursuit Trap the Rotom, even though it doesn't switch. But Blaziken comes back in, it just forces another kill here, right? Yeah, Floribus get a 44, but now it's in Blaze range. This next one will KO even after lefties. It's going to switch, though. Preserve it. It was a Snorlax, so it's going to Superpower doing 40 to Bronzong. That's not bad damage at all. But Bronzong's going to rest. I mean, that Superpower like really did not work out well for Friedel here. You're going to bring in the Zapdos. And the Crobat, so it's pretty good double switch there for Friedel. Cradle is going to come in, basically get this Thunderbolt, yeah, very easily. Heat and Power Ice, but that's not going to do too much. He only does 40, and Zap is now Toxic, which is really rough for Frito. There's no Cleric on his team anymore because Shaman is down if it was packing Oral Therapy. Savage good U-turn out, but it's a free recover for the Cradley here. Yep. Just gonna go out to Bronzong on the presumed Ice Punch. Or Night Slash, Night Slash works too, but it's not gonna do that much. Quick it again, hoping for the crit, but not going to get it. And Jerobo will take out the Weavile here. In comes the Quaidol. Quaidol's quick game power. HP Fire, that's good. Doing nothing. Wow. Is that heat proof? No, it can't. It's no way it's heat proof, but okay, HP Fire is like nothing there. Gonna dodge the Toxic and then go into Snorlax, which has immunity. Bison is gonna KO the Bronzong. But Blazing comes in, yeah. I mean, what do you just sack something, right? You know Snorlax isn't Thick Fat, but you're just gonna superpower. I don't know. I feel like you could have just Flare Blitz there. Like it's not Thick Fat because it proc the immunity, so don't use Flare Blitz. I don't know. But anyway, superpower, two superpowers after the Toxic and the rocks will KO the Zapdos anyway, so I guess it works out regardless. Quaidol comes in here. Switch out to Crobat. That's Quaidol's a Calm Mind. Okay, so that's what it's packing. Are we out to Cradily on the Psychic, taking very low damage. And Ice Beam comes out, does 70 with a crit. That crit definitely mattered based on that damage. That's huge. A Blaze can come in, Flare Blitz, not gonna kill the Quaidol with even within Blaze range, but Quaidol's super low, now you can just kill Crobat or Flygon. Flygon's can come in, Dragon Claw, kill the Quaidol, and then we have the Snorlax left. It's a Life Orb, okay. So you can click Life Orb, Dragon Claw. Your Life Orb, wait, why not click Earth? I don't know, whatever. Bison's can come out, KO, so that's, is that banned? That might be banned as Snorlax, actually, I'm thinking about it. I don't know. Sludge Runn's gonna come out, can't poison, obviously, because of the. But Sludge Runn's gonna come out and KO Snorlax. So Clyde is gonna win a very close 1-0. Yeah, very, very tight game here. Some cool power on both sides. I definitely think, obviously, that crit helped a lot, but in the end, Clyde did so much to pull it out. I'm curious what the Snorlax set was. I feel like it might have been banded, but I'm really not sure based on those damages. Maybe it was like Soak Scarf or something. I honestly don't know what it could be. But yeah, pretty interesting game. Frito is going to be eliminated for a tournament, unfortunately. So, great run to Frito. You had a great job all tournament. You are out in top 16, but very well done. And Clyde will move on to the next round of losers bracket. Hey, on to our next game. Yeah, game 4, we are back to the winners bracket. We have Crying Seed 1 overall versus Crying Boo Bang Seed 9. So two very, very good Smogon players, and we will see how this draft game goes for them. They both obviously done great all tournament. Versus Nosy and Ferrip is a pretty solid matchup here. The dual wars are a little annoying, but Selby actually pressures them both really, really hard. The core of Ferrip plus Selby is very, very good in general. On CBB's side, Suicune looking quite frustrating for Crying, actually. The only real response is Celebi, which isn't a great one because Signal Beam exists. And if it gets too many boosts up, I assume more like Nasty Plot Tangaberry maybe, but then it can always pack. It's probably Hack Signal Beam. So Nasty Plot Tangaberry Leaf Storm might be the set here, I could see, but not sure. We'll have to see what happens, obviously. Jolteon being the whole team is nice. HP Grass, Signal Beam hits both the Electrolysis, so Jolteon's looking very, very strong in this matchup. Defensively, I do notice that Swamper's a bit annoying for CBB to break down. It's just super fat naturally. It probably has to run Rindo for Jolteon, so it probably can't hold lefties, but that's fine. I think because it's pretty just good in this matchup and just dishing out damage, getting up rocks is really big. Hitmontop is difficulty spinning on Miss Magius, so that means that if rocks go up from Crying side, they're gonna pressure Zapdos a lot. Probably if I could, and it's probably a trap edge matchup, even though it can theoretically trap Infernape. Probably not coming. So yeah, I think these top 7 are probably what's going. If I had to bench anything, I would guess it's Registeel, but then you kind of open yourself up to Weavile. But I think Registeel's probably the bench on this side. And on Crying side, it's probably the top 6, right? I guess Muck has a reason to come, but I don't think it does. It's only if you're really scared of Tox Spikes, which, like, I don't know, maybe you are. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I could be able to call this one. We're good. Muck helps versus Coon to an extent. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give this even, and we'll get into it. Crying left, CB on the right. Zapdos lead into Fortress. Fortress can be forced down immediately. The Muck did show up. It's gonna take pennies from that Heat Wave. Yep. He'll up the leftovers and suppress the leftovers, not Black Sludge, but it doesn't really matter. Poison Jab comes off because Trade for on the Zapdos. Extra Sensory is packed for it, though. Does good damage. Gotta get a rest here, so Muck is back to full. And Ferrip is to bring in on HP Fire, presumably. For Registeel, close combos can manage Chopple. Was it like Earthquake or Counter or something? It's just get up rocks, okay. Fire rocks are very important. In comes the Zapdos on our close combat. 34. That's a lot of damage still. Switch out into Celebi. On the extra sensory, take virtually nothing for, of course. Crying's good trick now, so Zapdos is now scarfed, and Celebi's an extra which could actually come up later depending on that set. Jordan's gonna come in, double the Registeel on the Swampert switch. Fair enough, good play. Swamper's gonna be going out to Miss Maggie, is predicting a boom, and it is gonna call that correctly. That's huge swing of momentum for Crying. Their Registeel goes down for no value. We're gonna burn the Snorlax as a quick crunch. Only doing 29. So Miss Mag will get a very strong position here. Meanwhile, okay, so it's probably a Parasong set then. Miss Snorlax now trapped in. We're gonna protect. Yeah, so it's definitely Parasong is a set. Yep. So that means the Snorlax phase pretty much still. We're gonna Parasong here. Outside maybe a crunch crit is what you would need. No, it's too late. It's down. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna matter at this point. So quick, obviously you have nothing you can do is click and crunch, but yeah, I think the Snorlax is gone. Go a quick fire punch just in case there was a switch to Fortress. I guess you might as well crunch and kill anyway. Obviously, you can preserve the Miss Mag here and for as long as you go down. It does quick self-destruct though, and with the burn, it's only 26. That's still like decent damage, like through burn and resist into a 140 base defense monster. Snorlax is a monster. Anyway, we're gonna get off the spin with Fortress into Suicune as it starts Calm Minding, very scary. In comes Swampert, takes very well from the Surf, so that's a very special defensive Swampert, of course. Surf again, only doing 37. Swamper's gonna roar it out, forcing it out there. In comes Zapdos. Okay, we're gonna U-turn out because we are a choice scarf now, and clearly it's not packing HP grass based on its moves that we've seen so far. And Swamper's gonna rest as well. The Swampert game active full as Suicune's gonna Calm Mind. Presumably has Rest Talk. Yeah, Sleep Talk forcing out Suicune with Roar is very big. In comes the Quillfish. Has to fear getting Sleep Talk Earthquake, so it has to switch out again. Sleep Talk get rest. Okay, so it's not Gavion. Surf do 26 to Swampert. Is just gonna reveal Earthquake to the last move, so Quillfish was the correct to switch out there just in case. Quick protect, obviously get some lefties. Into the Zapdos. On Earthquake, so it's a free switch in for Zapdos. Zapdos isn't really pressure this thing that hard anyway, right? All you can do is roll a U-turn extra sensory. Extra sensory is not a great move here. Into the Suicune. This Swampert doing a lot of like just chipping things down, just forcing progress here, which is nice. Roar out the Suicune. Right. I always forget that Protect blocks Roar in the shade. It doesn't do it in our gens. So Suicune is gonna guarantee get the recover lefty's recovery. It is packaged, so it's no stab Zapdos. Wow, was not expecting. Yeah, I mean, obviously, Crying was like, no, it's probably Thunderbolt last move, but good play by CUB there to catch it with HP Grass. But obviously, you have to cover for a potential ape switching. Into Celebi here as we quick protect. But now Celebi's in position to fire up a huge attack. We go protect as Celebi's except rocks, okay? This Zapdos now super pressure because it's scarfed. Yeah, Zapdos only gets one more switch in now. Celebi gonna trick its extra balance Jolteon, getting the damp rock. So it means Jolteon some sort of rain dance set up for an offensive Quillfish. Signal Beam doing 14s, virtually nothing. HP Grass into the muck. Yep. Crying's just pivoting super well all game here. We see Suicune come in here. Is this also Sleep Talk? It is. It's gonna get rest though. You have a Calm Mind for free, of course. Sleep Talk into Curse, so it's a Cursed Poison Jab Muck. Interesting. So Crying was pretty confident they could remove the Registeel early and just win with this. And right now it's looking like they might be able to. I'm just pointing out it's not doing that much, but if it gets a poison, the Suicune's pretty much done because it's unlikely it's packing rest in that last slot in the set. Surf doing a lot of damage, but poison has to keep it low. In comes the Swampert, sacking it off. That crit did matter, unfortunately, but I mean, it would have been too acute anyway. Parasong from Miss Mag to fourth, guaranteed the Suicune can't sweep you here, so that now Max Mag goes down. But now this is a pretty decent position for CBB getting back into the game. You turn out on the protect. Into the Celebi. Good. You now Surf. And Suicune is now forced out because, of course, of Parasong. In comes the Muck out to Zapdos, pretty much just sacking it here. But Muck is just going to rest, getting back to full. Zapdos is just going to create extra sensory, obviously, but you can just go into Fortress here. And now this thing can't do shit. I mean, it's doing okay damage, but still. You have the Spike. There's a free spike. And boom, on the weekend switch. Oh, wow, and that's huge. I mean, Crying's down 3-2, but like, I know this Muck is looking very, very dangerous in game because Zapdos can't switch in again. Rain Dance goes off. Muck gets Sleep Talk into Curse. So if we can get enough curses up, Kovish won't be able to beat it. Sack up the Zapdos, maximize your rain turns, of course. Sleep Talk into Rest. Okay, we see a Kovish is going to come in here, of course. Waterfall doing 54. That's a lot of damage. Oh my god. Muck is going to get off the Curse, though. It should have been everyone, but it could get flinched, of course. Flinched is always a possibility. It's going to get off the Rest. And I think this Quillfish, I mean, the rain's only just, yeah, it's not guaranteed free KO with the Life Orb in the rain. Poison Jab, oh yeah, that's probably it then. Quillfish is gonna boom, take out the +2 Muck, but I'm assuming it's Scarf Infernape. No, it's just gonna Mach Punch. Okay, Mach Punch will kill the Jolteon for 40. That's probably your. If I was Bandero based on Dance's Zapdos, that kind of confirms it. So yeah, wow, what a game! Fantastic game for these two. Coming, I mean, the Parasong Miss Magus did so much work. Lumia Snow actually forced out the Suicune. It was in really bad shape for Crying. Double Rest Talk made a lot of sense. Curse was a cool set, expecting the Raise Deal to boom early, which they got right completely. Trixel will be doing a lot of good things here in general. Yeah, and then on this side, the no stab zap is interesting. I get it. I don't love it. Then we see the Rain Dance Jewel Shine to Life Orb, so some Quillfish. That's very makes sense. Crying's War Resist aren't the best. It's really just Celebi. And obviously, Celebi gets kind of murked by Poison Jab. So yeah, very I'd say good prep from both sides, but Crying's gonna move on top four winners, and CB is gonna fall into the losers bracket. Hey, let's get into game 5. We have another elimination game here, I believe. Yeah, we have two very, very strong players. Friday, the 2 seed in losers, and Venga, the 7 seed in losers. So Friday is one of the best DVP players I know. He's super consistent, does well in pretty much every tournament I've seen him play in. And Venga won the Smogon DVP Cup. He has just completely dominated this tournament as well. So two incredibly strong players, both fighting in losers round 1 is wild. One of, in my opinion, the favorites to win the tournament is about to go out right here in top 16. So this should be guys should be an insane game to watch. Let's get into the matchup, of course. Let's see. Heatran is the first thing I'm noticing here. Heatran looks pretty solid. There's not a lot that really wants to come in on it outside maybe Quaidol, but Quaidol obviously is slower and also doesn't enjoy taking Magma Storm chip. Shaman also looking pretty decent. Like it's just its coverage and stabs are pretty good here. Sea Flare, just pretty spammable. Sceptile isn't bad though. Like not much Roy wants to take the combination of Leaf Blade, Earthquake X Scissor, and the speed of Snapdragon being stuff like Azelf is and Frost is really big in this matchup. Gengar is solid, but you have to watch out for Pursuit Sucker. Honchkrow, of course. Kingdra is good, as always, because the dry resist is a Heatran, so Draco's a very free. I can usually see Kingdra starting like Specs Draco. I don't think you even really need to run like a Rain Sarah in this game. I think you just run Specs Draco, you bring in repeatedly, and you just keep clicking buttons. I mean, with Venga having no Ultra is a bit hard to do in practice, but Kingdra is very, very scary if it ever hits the field safely, which I'm confident Venga can do, as he's a very, very talented player. Azelf is interesting. I don't love into Metagross, Quaidol, Drapion. I think Azelf very well could lead here, but Quaidol is not the worst barrier into Frost if you can catch it with like a rock move or something. I think overall I'm gonna give this matchup to Venga. I think I have to give this matchup to Venga, but it's pretty close. The Friday on the left, Venga on the right. Tournament lives on the line here. Nail King leading into Metagross up an Earthquake as Quaidol comes out. Megahorn doing 63, but it's Citrus, so it's probably Richard Norman. Rocks go up. Out to Gengar to tank the Megahorn. Still is like not the worst damage. Gengar's just taking power. His HP ground makes sense. It's a Heatran, but the Shuckleberry and Shalco's come out doing 73. His Gengar's super low now. Is to get the slightly higher roll, so KO with HP ground after Shuckle. HP ground, oh my god. And so this that's surely Heatran Spadafin will have lived. He wouldn't say anything otherwise. So yeah, these 2 games in a row that 3 days Heatran has been killed with HP ground by a Gengar crit again. So like that's a kind of depressing, but it is Pokemon. Is how it goes. So, yeah, 2 games in a row Heatran went down to HP ground crit. Azel's gonna U-turn out, KOing the Claydol, but Honchkro's gonna have to take these rocks. In comes Metagross. Meteor Mash miss as Honchkro's got Thunder Wave. I have never seen a Thunder Wave Honchkro before. That's very neat. In comes the Blastoise on the Meteor Mash. Should take too much. 30. Okay, that's banded as shit. And he gets the attack raise. Wow. Get off the spin, but now we can just like. Oh, let's get fully paralyzed. Okay, then. Hydro doing 61. And Maris get paralyzed again. This is a super haxy game. Bullet Punch doing 17 here. Hydro. So it's not even banded. What? How did that do 30 then? What? It must be a more offensive Blastoise then. Because that 30 is crazy. HP Dragon's gonna come out doing good damage to Kingdra, but Kingdra can just outrage here. Honchkrow gets off the second punch. Honchkrow's been doing a lot of work in Top Cut so far. Gengar's gonna trick Azel with a Choice Scarf in exchange for the ban, so U-turn's gonna KO now. Okay, in comes the Honchkrow. Drapion's gonna be the switch agent. Scarf? Probably not, but it just has to be. Poison Jab goes off. Get off the Thunder Wave here. Honchkrow's gonna Roost though, so it's maybe a bulkier set. It's obviously fishing for like the para here. We just got Brave Bird now, doing a lot of damage to Drapion, getting it super low. Now it's gonna come in. Shaman's gonna come in for free to get off the Earth Power. It's Shucko, but surely it dies at 26, yeah. Blaze Bengals. Bengals has points to Sceptile. Can Sceptile win from this position? Shaman's not packing Air Slash. Sceptile should just win now. It gets a +4 very easily, yeah. Psychic again, yeah. We've placed to come out. And this should kill. Oh, that doesn't even kill. Wait, what? Psychic's gonna come out. Waste its item. Is a Salic Berry. Okay. So outspeed it, meaning outspeed the Scarface Elf. Oh, and the crit. Wow. I mean, it's an overgrowth, so that may or may not matter. It was like a roll. It probably based on previous stage was 61, so it's probably a roll with overgrowth. But damn, that's a real unfortunate crit. And obviously with the Salic, it's got outspeed this now Scarf Days Elf. So Venga is gonna win when on the back of Sceptiles. It does have very dominant performance in the tournament this year, but also pretty hacky. We saw a lot of powers on the Metagross, the crits. Just a very haxy game, which is unfortunate to see this late in the tournament. That's it is what it is sometimes. So Free Day again, in my opinion, will the Free versus take the whole tournament is out in top 16. Still fantastic run from him. I don't think he dropped the game until this point. I just had a very, very dominant tournament, so great job. And Venga, again, they're a very top DPP player in draft. Moving on to the next round of losers bracket. Okay, let's get into our next game. One second, I got to check. Just I got some sort of ping. Let me see what it is. Game 6. All right. Let's see. So here we have our last winners back here. We have Aontha C4 versus Sleepy C12. Yeah, so let's get into this one. Yeah, so last winners bracket match of this round. Let's take a look here. Well, first I'm noticing Dragonite into Steel type Lucario is difficult to say the least. Stuff like Intimidate Gyarados can help, of course. Raikou also been quite strong. The only ground type is Golem, and yes, Golem gets like Sand Boost here, but still not great. I mean, I guess Raikou can't. I guess he can run like Edge Sensor, HP, Water, Grass if it wants. I know it's really weird. Aontha's like Golem is probably have to come. Skarmory looking pretty difficult for Aontha to break as well. Like probably gonna need like a mixed T-Tar or a mixed or special Lucario. I know this is a really weird matchup. Aontha's team is really weird, so it's really hard to parse like the matchups for it. It's very unique with like triple rock and all that. Yeah, I guess the Spare Bear Armaldo isn't great, but it can spin out Drapion on Drifblim pretty easily, so Scarm can it's gonna be a bit but Scarm can always come in on it so you can just get the spikes back up, which is or rocks back up, which is a little annoying. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know how to evaluate this one. I think I'm leaning Sleepy, but it's just a really odd matchup. I don't know. Let's look into it though. Aontha on the left, Sleepy on the right. See, Gyarados lead into Miltank. Thunder Punch also a combo Gyarados. Gyarados could Dragon Dance on turn 1. Okay. Look like the Waterfall do it. Crit do 92 and crit flinch. Wow. Unfortunate doesn't even begin to describe my series moment. Gyarados can have the second Dragon Dance, but Waterfall's only do very free and HP. But Fion sucks and HP Electric doesn't even kill. However, he is in range of another one, so let's go Waterfall here. Quick HP Electric. So Fion did 1v1 the Gyarados more or less. Very funny. Fion actually doing something. Venusaur comes in as a Sleepy goes out to Dragonite, but on top of Sleepy, it's going to sleep from the sleep power. It's very big. Lucario's gonna come in, but the Dragonite is Sleep Talk calling the sleep powder. Wow. Presumably it's a it's Scarf. I see. So it's Scarf HP Ice is gonna kill Dragonite. Yeah. For those who don't know, in Gen 4, I think it's in some urges too, if you sleep talk while basically it just fails in this scenario. Yeah, in the situation it fails in that scenario. You have to switch. So Lucario's gonna KO the Dragonite there, which is obviously very, very big. Raikou get 2 KO the Venusaur. In comes the Tyranitar. Raikou's gonna click Reflect, okay, but T-Char's gonna start Dragon Dancing. Out to Donphan though. Behind the Reflect, the T-Char shouldn't do too much to it. Oh god, that's a Stone Edge crit. It was 52. Oh my god. Click the Aqua Tail. Very, very good. Earthquake is a Shuckleberry T-Char, so it's gonna easily tank that. And a sack off the Miltank, of course. Yeah, you need your Donphan for weight eventually. Get in the Skarmory. Just gonna click the Steel Wing doing 37. Interesting run over Iron Head. I feel like Iron's just better, but I don't know. Still he's gonna come out. He is gonna take out the T-Tar. Get a little bit of health back, but now Im's Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl's looking in prime position. Yes, Stone Edge gonna KO the Skarmory. It's super low. And it's a Life Orb. It's probably just for like Aqua Tail over Donphan or something. Out to Mesprit. You don't want to risk the Raikou being bulky and living, of course. Mesprit only takes 46 there. You have a Psychic that crit probably mattered, but move to a KO anyway. Sure, we will to a KO. I mean, I assume we to a KO from 43, right? It would be shocking. Anyway, Toxic coming out onto the Mesprit. Rocks go up, mean that we can Raikou a bit. Psychic should come out, take it out. And now I think Arrow just like wins now because Raikou, even if Raikou lives, like you probably have Vacuum Wave on Lucario. Raikou's just gonna Thunderbolt take out the Mesprit, but I think it's a little too late, right? Yeah, it's gonna come in just like Earthquake, and you move the Shuckleberry. It's gonna move after Shuckleberry, but does right? I guess it depends if Lucario's priority, but surely it does, right? You're a Lucario in Gen 4. Sure, we have some sort of priority. That's Extreme Speed, yeah, and that's gonna finish off the game. Yeah, wow. I mean, we saw obviously we got some flinches and some crits and stuff. That was a unfortunately not knowing the mechanic on Dragonite was unfortunate, but most people wouldn't know that mechanic. To be fair, it's a very odd mechanic. It doesn't come up very often. Of course, sleep talking to outrage is very rare. But yeah, unfortunately, that is how it goes. Stealing was weird. I feel you just on Iron Head unless you. It's like it risks missing on the T-turn and you just like are boned, right? Because Stealing only has 90% accuracy. Yeah, pretty simple stuff, but Alpha is gonna take home the win. Oh, moving on to top four, where's back in. Sleepy is gonna fall down to losers, of course. Now we have 2 more elimination matches here. Yeah, 2 more elimination matches. Let's get into next one. We have Nintago Foxo, winner of the first Distortion Draft tournament, top 8 last time, seed 3 in losers bracket versus Watashi, a very good Smogon player, seed 6. So again, 2, in my opinion, of the probably my top 50% of people, the favorites. I mean, Tyler's probably like main number 1 favorite to win the tournament. We have 2 of very, very strong players facing off losers. One is going home here in top 16, which is still kind of wild to me. So let's get into it. We do see our first. I believe this is actually our first mirror of tops of the redraft. We see both Starmies and both Rose Rays in this one, which is pretty interesting. So let's take a look here. On the Starmies, let's see. Watashi Starmie looking very, very strong here. Not much really, nothing really switched into it at all. Like offensive Starmie on Watashi's side is very, very good. My God, Tago's is pretty solid too, but like Registeel can kind of check it. Registeel isn't the best. It's gonna get pressured by stuff like Gliscor and Arcanine. We also have to watch out for Gliscor Sandvale because I, for some reason, left that legal on Gliscor in this tournament. And the T-Tar is also very, very scary. The Starmies being the spares on both sides. Watashi does not have a spin blocker, so Tago Starmie can spin pretty freely if they're worried about the hazards. Whereas Watashi's, it can spin, but like Spadef Rotom is probably coming for that. But Spadef Rotom is very easy to trap with like a one berry T-Tar. Just to block the Lilith or the Thunder Wave. Scissor looking actually very, very strong here. If Moltres probably has to come for Scissor, but I don't know what you drop for Moltres. Maybe like Rhyperior probably. Yeah, you probably drop Rhyperior, but that does open up Arcanine a lot. Oh yeah, Moltres probably comes as like a check the scissor and Arcanine. However, that means Watashi's gonna be very, very reliant on keeping those rocks off. And while Starmie is a good way to keep rocks off, like Rotom is Spinef Rotom can kind of answer it, although with like the Sandstorm chip, it's a lot harder. I think I have to do this match with Tago. I think it's winning Tago's favor. Let's get into it. Tago on the left with Tashi on the right with the White Shop. Is that Snow Perk? Very, very cool. Teeter's got Ice Punch turn on the glass grass. Scissor comes in. Moltres, as I thought, Moltres coming. We're going to U-turn do only 8%. It's definitely a physically defensive Moltres. Regirock is the switch in here, okay? Oh no, oh god, no. Solar Beam in, at least in Gen 4, I don't know if there's earlier gens, but starting in Gen 4 at minimum. If Solar Beam in any weather not named Sun or Neutral has only 60 base power for some fucking reason. So that was a 60 base power Solar Beam in the sand spec boost. I mean, it's just gonna bounce over. Yeah, only 3. Yeah, and now Moltres paralyzed. That's real unfortunate. Yeah, that's I feel that's a bit more of an intuitive, not intuitive, but a bit more well-known mechanic than the outrage Sleep Talk one from the last game. But yeah, it's unfortunate. You can't really run Solar Beam if you're running T-Tar on your team. It just doesn't work, and as we saw that here. Starmie's gonna get up the spin. Red Rock obviously can T-Wave it, so now it's gonna be forced out eventually. We get the rocks back up as Starmie's gonna surf doing 52. But it's slower, so now it's the fear of the boom, which is the thing. You can't really stay in spin, right? Out the scissor. Yeah, yes, switch out cure the paralysis. Go into red rock register predicting fear of boom. So just gonna you turn out here, get a little bit of chip on this Registeel. Raise the get up with Tashi's rocks. Getting off the Leech Seed. And Earthquake's not doing too much. There's a pretty fat Rose Ray, and obviously now it's not in range of another one. It probably has like Protector Substitute or something. It just have a spike though. So Starmie is presumably gonna spin here. I assume Rotom's gonna come in if it was brought. Yeah, Rotom was brought. It's gonna come in here. Psychic's gonna come out to 46, but it's Citrus Berry, so that's a very, very good prep. I really like that. Citrus Berry means that it's not like having its recovery completely blocked by the sand. Very, very good prep. Discharge is gonna come out, so now it's out of range of another Psychic still. So Starmie still can't spin. It's gonna Surf, which is also a little bit stronger than Psychic, but still gonna pick up the KO, and Discharge is gonna do 75. Rotom's gonna go down, but now you can bring in something to revenge it. Yeah, Scissor just quick Bullet Punch. Starmie can protect here, but okay, nope, it's Scarf Scissor anyway, which again we've seen all tournaments see a ton of Scarf Scissors. You're just gonna take it out, meaning that these hedges are staying up, and this Moltres is now pretty much dead. Toggle's in an incredibly strong position now. Tyranitar comes in on Rose Raid. Good crunch, so reveals A is also Scarf, but now you're just getting free Scissor, right? Yeah, free Scissor. Go into the Moltres, but obviously you can't do shit here. You're just gonna die after like the rush stuff. Superpower does 20. He's in range of another one. Obviously, after Sand's gonna be down to just 4%. Get into Togekiss. Superpower only doing 19. It's a very physically defensive Togekiss. Next one's gonna come in as Togekiss roofs up. Sub from the last score is Togekiss quick air slash. Okay. Tago is probably fishing for the Sandvale misses here because that is legal. But instead, he's going to go for Rock Slide and miss himself. Air Slash going to get off 41% into this glass score. Looking at another Rock Slide, getting some chip. But yeah, it's a very, very fat Togekiss. Only 28. We are going to get the flinch, but that's not really a sustainable way unless you get multiple. Glass score is a Swords Dance here as Togekiss roosts. Okay, that's one way to try and break through it. But you still need a flinch, really. Sacking off the Moltres to the rocks. Is Glass going to Swords Dance again? No. So it's only a +2. T-Tar's gonna come in. I mean, we know it's Scarf, so Glasser's gonna be forced out. These are the Brave Ice Punch. And as gonna come out, it's gonna heal the Regirock from 12%, but Scizor comes back in now. Registeel comes out. Let's see a U-turn. Taco's gonna go back into the glass score here. Earthquake is gonna KO the Registeel. And Rose Raid is Ratashi's last Pokemon. Okay, it makes a lot of sense. Gonna sub off the glass scores. Quick Grass Knot. Okay, it's gonna break the sub, of course. Going for it again. Still fishing. We're gonna get the HP and power off, presumably HP fire. I'm kind of surprised that broke the sub, but fair enough. It's probably more offensive Rose Raid. Earthquake's gonna come out to 75. Rose Raid will kill the glass score, but Rose Raid also go down to Sand. Meaning it's 2v2 now. Starmie's gonna come in from Tago's side as Togekiss comes down with Tashi's. Thunder. Oh my god, it's running Thunder. And it gets the Thunder hits and gets paralysis. And Mr. Paralysis start Togekiss does not outspeed after even after the Thunder Wave. Go land a second Thunder, KOing the Togekiss. In comes the Tyranitar. Get off the Stone Edge. Doesn't kill the Storm. You have Thunder. It lives on one, but obviously, it's I stand. But obviously, Scissors comes in, bullet punches. Yeah, Scissors got bullet punch, and that's gonna be a win for Tago there. Very, very insane game. Wow, what a game. Very close. Lots of back and forth. Everything like that. Neat guy score set. Very good in this matchup, of course. Unfortunately, Sorbeam Ultras did kind of backfire. It doesn't really work on a Sand team. Unfortunately, it's a knowledge check there, but I'm sure he'll never make that mistake again. But it's something to note. But yeah, Tago is going to move on. Very, very close game on to next round losers. And Watashi is going to go out in top 16. Again, amazing run all tournament. I believe he didn't drop any games either, but he's going to go out here to Tago. On to our last game of this set. We've got Coconut Seed 16 losers bracket versus Food Seed 8. So once again, two pretty solid players have both been doing very well. And one of them's going out here. Let's take a look. Azelf into no dark type is terrifying. The Psych Resist is Skarmory, so that's not a good Azelf check. It's probably even Thunderbolt because that also hits Blastoise pretty hard than Psychic does. So yeah, Azelf looking terrifying. You might need a Scarf Mismag to check it or something, or a Shao Sneak Gallade, but I don't know. Azelf's very, very strong here. Lucario's also really good. I mean, the fighting resist was Skarmory. That's an okay one, but Skarmory is essentially the fighting resist. It's just it doesn't resist fighting, but you know what I mean. It's like the Lucario check. Kingdra also looking pretty solid. You have the Blastoise and the Vileplume, but those get worn down, especially try to check or stuff like Lucario. Coconut's offensive match was very, very strong here. Raikou looking decent, but Nidoqueen's a very, very solid check to it, as is Electivire for that matter. Electivire probably does come here. For that, it also helps break down Skarmory and Blastoise. Yeah, I think this is definitely an Electivire game. I think you probably bench Driftblim and Floatzel, and you bring Electivire. I guess you could bench Fortress, but you could bench Fortress, then you're really weak to Mamoswine. So you probably do bring the Fortress. Yeah, I mean, it's actually looking pretty heavily in Coconut's favor. Let's get into it. Coconut on the left, Food on the right. Azelf will be into Miss Magnus. Let's just go for Scarf Shower Ball, not kill the Azelf, as Azelf just taunts, so he's a Sash set. Can be forced out immediately into Kingdra on the Scarf Shower Ball, doing 45. That's really good damage. I'm going to be modest Scarf, actually. Kingdra's going to have a Draco doing 59 to Blastoise, but with the Life Orb, but Blastoise takes another one. Out to Electivire, and Gallade is going to come in. Thunderbolt, yep, I figured this. It's a Life Orb Eevire. I wasn't sure if it would be a Life Orb or a more defensive set, if that makes sense. Bulk up Gallade. Oh my god, Thunderbolt and Thunder. What the hell? And I guess in case Rain is up, but Fire else does more damage. Fair enough. Is it packing Shadow Sneak? It's gotta be packing Shadow Sneak, right? It's not packing Shadow Sneak. Oh my god. Bulk up Gallade not packing Shadow Sneak into the Azelf matchup is certainly interesting. Yeah, Electivire's giving out its own Life Orb, but it did a wild work there getting the Gallade low. Maelstrom gets sub as the Fortress comes in. We're gonna have an Earthquake. You shouldn't do too much. You only about a third. You have the Gyro Ball to break the sub. Out to Azelf on the rocks. Very, very good aggressive play from Coconut there, but the Maelstrom could have had Ice Shard. I guess it didn't, though, in the last one. Azelf getting up the Rain Dance, prepping for a Kingdra is good. Go for Psychic, getting the Blastoise low. Psychic against the Blastoise is going to go down. What's coming in now? Probably the Bisbank? No, it's the Skarmory. And Azelf's going to boom. Yeah, taking out the gain damage. The Spikes can come up, but now you have Kingdra for free. Yeah, Kingdra's a little low, but I don't know how much it matters because we know the Gallade doesn't have Shadow Sneak. You have the 20% there, you have the 10%. It's dying to Life Orb, but he has 2 kills here. And Shadow Sneak on the Scarf Mismag. What? So you didn't run Shadow Sneak on your bulk up Gallade, but you ran on your Scarf Mismagius? I don't understand, but okay. That's an interesting choice. And when Maelstrom's gonna come in, obviously take a payback very well. I don't agree with that choice, but I guess it worked out. Force could come in, try and spin. Miss Mag is going to block it, of course. HP Fire should KO. Yep, Force is going down. So this is a tough position for Coconut here. Lucario's going to come in. Can Lucario turn this around? Go crunch in his Scarf and takes out the Miss Magnus there. Maelstrom comes in. Does Crunch just clean up? Probably not. Nidoqueen's going to come in on presumably an Earthquake. Yep. Shuckleberry, so it will live on a tiny sliver. Maelstrom's gonna sub though as Nidoqueen goes for its own Earthquake to break that. And Master's getting off on our Earthquake here. We see Lucario come in. Just it scarves around, quick move here. Let's get a quick close combat. Is Gallade in range? Probably, actually, yeah. In comes the Raikou. Also, your second close combat again or drop, just in case. And in comes the Gallade. And we know Gallade's not fighting Shadow Sneak. It wouldn't matter because of resistance. And yeah, and Lucario's gonna turn around for Coconut. Wow, yeah, this game looked. Where was the crit? Did that crit? I doubt that crit mattered on mismag, right? Like, surely it didn't. I guess maybe if it was. No, we know it's offensive mismag. Obviously, it didn't matter. Yeah, so this game looks super bad for Coconut, but they did manage to turn it around towards the end. Yeah, I I really don't understand not running Shadow Sneak on your Gallade in an Azo match. Like, we just go back a bit. Like, Gallade would have been so good with Shadow Sneak, and like, let me go back further. Where were we? Like, let me go back to just go back to the start. Like Shadow Sneak on this turn here, turn 6 would have been gigantic. You could have kept in your Galley, taking out the Electivire, not taking out his chip on Raikou for no reason. And then later you could have brought on this, and then you could have brought in instead of having to go Miss Mag, you could have brought in Galley after Shadow Sneak this, and then potentially guy more chip. Also, I don't know. I feel like Shadow Sneak on Galley made a lot of sense here, but yeah, that's gonna be a end game win for Coconut. Moving on to next round of losers. And food is gonna be knocked out. So that's it for this round. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll be back with a short stream next time. I guess we'll have winners, top four, as well as next round of losers bracket sometime next week. Have a good day, everyone.